I've been meaning to get back into the swing of things. Why not a ROM hack? One of my favorite RPGs of all time. Oh my god, this worked out too well. Oh, the actual king came out. Hey! Yeah, let's. It is exactly as I remember it. Hey all, it's Radrad. Welcome to Final Fantasy IV Re-Energized. A ROM hack that has turned an RPG classic into an open-world randomizer. You get the airship from the first 10 seconds of the game, and the world is your oyster. Couple of things before we get started properly, just so I can hear the prologue theme all the more often. The game allows you to keep track of every key item you have. This is important, because this is a scavenger hunt. The game itself has turned into a puzzle, and it is up to you how you're going to solve that puzzle. This is a standard run, which means we can walk right in to Damsian Castle. Walk past all the death and destruction that has already been done, and we can walk up to our next character, who is another Cecil. Oh, Anna. Thank you so much for letting me double up on my boyfriend. So ideally, we want to go scavenger hunting for items. But right now, I'm scavenger hunting for characters. This game rewards game knowledge, because there are certain portions of the map that you can just walk into and walk straight into a character. As you start climbing into more difficult runs of the game, you're not awarded this luxury. And that's why we're going to take advantage of it. We still have 2 more spots to go for gathering characters, but right now, with Cecil, Yang, and Rosa, I'm already feeling confident in this party makeup. Let's go down to Mysidia. And let's grab not 1, but 2 characters. Okay, one of you gets to stay. Per Final Fantasy IV rules, you get 5 party members. If you pick up more than 5, and you recruit another, one of them has to go. Okay, one of you Cecils get out. You can take their equipment, but considering we have a Cecil with equal equipment, we don't need to. Characters arrive at the first point you would get them in the main game. That means you get them levels and all. Some characters you're going to have to earn. Whether through boss fights or whether through reaching that point in the run. There are characters here you can just grab for free. So before we get started with the game, that's what we're doing proper. I believe this is Palom? Yes. Palom wears green with the orange cape. It's the easiest thing to remember. And we're already replacing Tella. Because Tella is a good early game mage, but a horrible late game character. We'll worry about treasure chests and grabbing stuff at a later date. So I'm going to do my usual thing here since I have a couple of runs of this game under my belt. Before we do anything, obviously we've got to change the team comp here. Three characters in the front, 2 in the back. You can change this around if you so desire, and depending on your team makeup. Okay. It's just Final Fantasy 2. Well, I know it as Final Fantasy 2, because it's what I played when I was a kid. Final Fantasy 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. It feels like this and Chrono Trigger have a constant fight to the death over favorite video game. It depends on the phase of the moon, no pun intended. It depends on the time of day, it depends on the mood I'm in. But those two are always fighting for top spot. They are two games that are very precious to me. And in between all of this talking and waxing poetic, we picked up a couple of items along the way. You press the select button at any time in this ROM hack to sort of get an idea of what these items can do and if they're better and worse than your current equipment, which they are. So we have encounters turned off. We won't be encountering any enemies on the world map unless we get a particular item. With that in mind, time for our first boss fight. Everything about this is randomized. Bosses, treasure items, characters, key items, even the items in the shops are mixed up. As I've said, each particular seed is a puzzle, and it's up to you to solve that puzzle. I'd say we're in relatively good shape. This is really the first major boss fight of the game. Granted, this is not the Mist Dragon, but it is something equally similar in power. Yeah, I'm just gonna fight from here. And hey, people got experience. Obviously not enough to really tip the scales, but it's a good start nonetheless. I could have been very unfortunate with my randomizer. It's that the thing about free enterprise is there's a lot of ways to just describe it for those not in the know. It's a ROM hack, it's randomizer, it's a scavenger hunt. And while I'm not the biggest player of randomizers, it does help that it's of this game. A game that I am noticeably familiar with. Let's take a look at the equipment, see if we can get anything better. I'd say we can. The deal is, the game I know is on the Super Nintendo, aka 1991. And a lot of things have happened since then. Well, alright, we'll just put away these for now. Alright. You're right-handed. I don't know how I normally use my Sid. He can go two-handed if you want to, or weapon and a shield. I guess it just depends. We could go to other places to get our free heal and not have to pay for it, but you know, support your local inns. They're nearby and they're waiting for your patronage. Naming Ways are pretty much all over the place. You don't even have to talk to Naming Way to do it. You can change the name of any of the characters from the main menu. I did want to do a full playthrough of Final Fantasy IV at some point, but why go that far when I could show off the work of some very, very dedicated fans? Oh my god, wait a minute. Change of plans. Poison Axe, two-handed. Sorry, Rosa, I know I just gave you this, but plans have changed considerably. Of all the runs I've had, I always want to have a Rosa. She's just such a versatile character. You can just make her an archer, you can give her staffs, depending on what's on the table. Like, even in after years, I take Rosa with me every time. I know a lot of people don't really like to speak fondly of after years, but just because it's kind of more of the same. But ain't no bad thing there for me. It was a new Final Fantasy IV installment in God knows how long. In a world where I thought that impossible. Alright, so we're just gonna hunt for treasure for the moment before we go into our next major boss fight. We're coming out pretty well with certain characters. It is worth noting on more difficult and less nice seeds that you could run into key items in these treasure chests, so knowing the how and where of these over 300 treasure chests across the game will help you out when you're stuck. So yeah, random encounters are basically off. It does help me speed up the overall collection that is going on here. And I'm gonna go back around. Just because I need my airships to get around. So yeah, knowing the who and what of this game helps you out. That much is obvious. But a couple of decades of time have only made Final Fantasy IV stronger. And for the Americans, it's only made your capabilities all the more versatile. There are abilities included in Free Enterprise that weren't part of the original Super Nintendo release, and I'm honestly thankful for them. Because it only makes certain characters all the better. I'm just making sure. We're just getting most of the boring stuff out of the way, because there are other places I could go for treasure, but, you know, let's keep things realistic. Oh, right. We gotta take the long way around. Because the second we enter this place, the unknown awaits us. Okay, then. This is Ashura. This boss needs a certain method to fight it. Or else you just get this over and over. How hard does this hurt? Not very hard. Yeah, I don't know if this is doable or not. Because Ashura's job is to maintain herself. She counters physical, and she counter heals. So it's a DPS race you are destined to lose. Okay, that is good to know. That is something we'll do when we're a little stronger. Alright, but here is what we can do. Here's our plan B. More treasure collecting! Oh, okay. Stardust Rod, that is no joke. And while we're here... Okay... Yeah, we could hook up Sid with a couple of more things, because he got nothing right now. Alright, that and the Doom. Cecil is a Dark Knight. Dark Knight sucks. Flat out. There's a particular place I want to get him to right away. But it will have to wait. Once we get into that place, Cecil goes from the worst character in the game to one of the best characters in the game. And yes, you can tell me about Black all you want, it doesn't save him. It just turns a bad character into a mid character. Like, he's a nice body to... Oh, okay. He's a nice body to be throwing around. We'll just keep this for the moment. Until we can actually buy arrows. It just... Okay... We'll hang on to the silence. We'll hang on to the silent staff for now. I'm not exactly sure where this rose is going just yet. Okay. One final check before we descend downward. Do I want to put that mute on anybody? No. No, I don't think I will. The pity this moon veil can't be used on enemies. That would solve the Ashura problem real quick. The game does give you a whistle at the start, so you can bring in Fat Chocobo for item storage. I don't use whistle that much. I either discard or sell for money. Okay, enough stalling. Contestant number 2. It's Mom Bomb! We should be ready to fight this. Oh, we gotta do something about your magic, friend. Okay, getting ready to explode. Gotta solve that problem real quick. I don't really use Dark that much. It feels like there's so many actions that can take the place of Dark. You gotta blow! Okay, now we can start kicking. Our magic is not the best right now, but every little bit helps. That's better. Ice Tube. Yeah, that's better. And it's a rat tail. That is good for long term. For when we come across another item. It's like, yeah. I know I've said it multiple times, but emphasis once again. Each particular seed is a puzzle. You can't use that rat tail just yet, but eventually you'll have the capabilities of passing it down. With a little more experience under our belt. I'm just gonna trek down to Hypo really quick for rest. Alright, plan is to go to Mount Hobbs next. Would be nice if the boss there is reasonable, but just in case. Oh, the pass is right here. You can basically go to the final boss instantly with this thing. But it is one way. Once you use this pass, there is no coming back. Yes, that is for you, for sure. Need to be a little thrifty. Okay, might as well give him something. That is... shield, yes. 1 whole point of defense. God, I spoil you, Cecil. I really do. Alright, since this is Mountain Hobbs we're talking about and we don't have Iridia, we need to come in from the east side. Yeah, we're gonna keep the samurai arrows on her for now. I feel like we need to ration those. We already have the Artemis bow, which is good enough on its own. I forgot to save. That would be nice to do. So this is where we're going to pick up another party member. Well, we gotta earn him. It is Edward. Unfortunately, I have no place for you. I do have place for that ring. The Octomammoth. Alright. Yang, since you now have double the power with double the claw... Yep, we need to hit this thing and hit it fast. Because the less tentacles it has, the slower it is. And the less messed up I get. So, relatively easy boss. 4,000 XP, that's what I'm talking about. We got tier 2 spells. Alright, scavenger hunt. Black Sword, which I think is his best weapon, or Dark Knight's best weapon. And we got a few chests over here. Lightning arrows, glass helmet. Yeah, we can do something with that. I just want him to have raw stats at this point. Yeah, this would benefit Palom a bit more. Iron Ring for you. I don't think we have anything for you, Sid. But don't worry, we are working on it. That is for our next campaign. Alright. Since we have a wall of ice, since we have no Rydia to speak of, gotta go back to the east exit. Ah yes, thankfully the game has double speed movement by default. You can press the Y button to move at normal speed if you wish, but I don't know, it's kind of ill-advised. Yeah, let's just do this now. We're not too banged up. Next is the Fabul Gauntlet. I sure will, that's why I'm here. Man, I am just lucking out. After Ashura, the game's just kind of taking it easy on me. These guards do hit a bit hard. Oh, just dead. Yeah. Yeah, Black Sword is good. Rosa, we're just gonna keep you where you are. Because the guard is kind of a doofus that way. And undoes his own work. There we go. No heal, though. So the Fabul Gauntlet is not a gauntlet anymore. Well, it depends on the enemies you get from the king. The Luca Key, that'll be good for when we get to a particular place. Talk to the NPCs. Not only do they have silly dialogue, but in some cases they can be helpful dialogue. It's just a standard rule of RPGs, but in this case, it can be especially helpful for first-timers, because this game is cool like that. Yeah, let's go over here and rest. Rosa can get unminied. Kind of basic items. Kamikaze is nice for certain things, but I don't think it's worth killing off a character. Ooh, that'll be good for later. Make a note of that. I told you we'd come through for you, Sid. Good here. Yeah, I'd say everyone's... Yeah, I'd say everyone's good here. Now we can get to stepping. This will be the final destination of our video, Mount Ordeals. Here, we can upgrade Cecil to something respectable. And if you know the original Final Fantasy IV, you know what's coming next. But we do have to, once again, earn it. Where we are at in the game right now, this fight is either going to be a cakewalk or just an awful, awful challenge. We do get a save, and I am going to use it. But depending on what we come across here, we're gonna be glad we used it. Is that a dark elf? Okay, though, okay. That's survivable! That is noticeably survivable. Okay. Alright, tail's away, so... When tail is away, the mice will play. Ah! Jump scared by Leviathan never gets old. Alright, saving once again. And part 2. That's noticeably worse! That's noticeably worse! Okay, change. Change real quick. I think my luck has just run out. On the plus side, at least this fight is here, and not later on in the game when it can be more powerful. Okay, yeah, you don't understand. We gotta double time it. Y'all don't understand. No, don't change. Ah! Virus. Virus, always good. Rosa finally learning heal. Piss off, Bahamut. Now for part 3. A pink tail. But that's not what we're here for. Okay, this was already a freebie, but... So this is the water hag that Edward fights in Kaipo to get his courage up. This fight is over in literally 2 or 3 moves. When you get water hag, you just... a big sigh of relief. The good news is that it's here. The bad news is that it's here. What is also here is Paladin Cecil. And the good news is, not only is your Cecil a paladin, but all Cecils are paladins. Any class changes or upgrades transfer to any potential versions of that character. Hooray, Tella got a spell he could never use on his own. Without help from apples. Alright, so Cecil is now a paladin, Cecil is now a good character. With a silver staff. But we could solve that. We could solve that noticeably quick. We're going to give him the Avenger. Because... oh, that is a two-handed weapon. Because... it will allow him to go berserk. Samurai... we don't have an arms. And that's hopefully something we'll solve in due time. But yeah, once I get a Cecil in the party, like one of the early things I absolutely need to do, make this boy a paladin as soon as possible. Because if not, his options and his viability are noticeably limited. Also, he starts at level 1, so he will get stronger immediately. Okay. That's pretty much my prime loop. Like, those are the spots I just go to from the offset. There are spots on this map that I need the hovercraft to be a little more mobile to get to. Yeah. Eblon Castle. Eblon Castle is another scavenger hunt, but there are some dangerous monsters in this area if you get a little too greedy. We're gonna play it safe, and we're gonna save here, and we're gonna hold this off for next time on Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise. See you later.